Welcome back to the channel.
So we found out some things. We solved a puzzle. We got a pin. A stupid, useless, pointless pin.
Talk to him again. Maybe he figured out the thing with our
You're back.
No.
Thanks for all your help.
Jerk.
Always a pleasure.
Alright.
All that work and for what? Give me my water. Because apparently all we can do right now is just do meaningless little tasks.
Nice Junior Park Ranger pin. You must really be on Acre's good side.
Hey, how about you shut your
I
face?
found an old newspaper in Sally's house that
I
contained
did
an
hard
article
work
on
for
Mickey
this pin,
Malone.
and I'd
It
appreciate
really
no
got my
judgment on it.
curiosity going. What else can you tell me about him?
Person you should talk to is Jeff Acres. He's got this historical museum thing going out at that ranger station of his.
How do I get to the museum?
Just up lake from Sally's on the east side.
Guess I'll see you later.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
I guess we can go see a museum.
Yay, museum time.
I've got another pointless puzzle for you. Can you find the stupid red tail hawk? No, because he keeps running away. Maybe it's
That's so wrong.
rock you. Wasting all your time doing pointless things.
Bird! I hear you, bird!
Let's go look at his stuff in the basement. Steal his shit.
I forbid.
For making us go on pointless bird expeditions. Soaring through the skies.
Find the stupid birds.
Alright, so we're gonna talk to him again in the evening. Or,
Try calling people.
yeah, I was about to say, let's call Sally.
Hello?
Hey, Sally, it's Nancy.
No,
Nancy, hi, how's it going?
Talk to you later.
let's talk to Bess.
Yeah, maybe they'll have a hint. Give me hints. Or face mine.
Nancy, how's it going?
This caller ID stuff is going to take some getting used to.
I'm here too, Nan. What's going on?
I saw the dogs Sally warned me about,
Yes, we got
and
a
she
lot of
was
catching
right.
up to
They
do.
were pretty scary.
You sure they weren't wolves or something?
They were definitely dogs. They came out of nowhere and started leaping at the windows and scratching at the doors like they wanted to get in.
Maybe that was just their way of being friendly.
Bess,
These
you
dogs were
don't.
not friendly, believe me,
Maybe
and they
that's
had
their way of
glowing
being
yellow eyes. A bird
You
watcher I
would
ran
believe
into
that,
said they were
wouldn't you?
ghosts.
Ghosts?
The man who built Sally's place on Moon Lake was a gangster. The bird watcher said that the ghosts of his dogs show up every time someone new tries to live here.
The place is haunted by ghost dogs? Like there's such a thing as ghosts. But it does sound like you've got another mystery on your hands, Detective Drew.
I could sure use a
Sorry,
nice
sorry,
big
bird
hint
call.
right about now.
Why don't you give the wall safe in the cellar another try?
Clolius aggravatus.
Wall. Wait, what date? Okay, hang on.
Bye, you guys.
Ta-ta! Ciao for now.
Wall safe. Alright. So,
You gotta go.
the dates. What year was he born in? They're important dates. That has to be the code to the darn thing.
I'm gonna look it up on my phone so you don't have to go back and look at other things. Oh, wait.
It's blocked. It looks like a tiny hole. It looks like a tiny hole.
Okay, you can't ever get gloves.
What's the combination?
Judging from the previous combinations, the current combo to the safe is probably another unlucky day. 0, 1, 2, 9. Wait. This was his unlucky day. See, Nancy lets us know things. 0, 1,
Yeah.
2, 9, 3, 2. I wonder if it says anything about the bird. Just out of curiosity.
Look, come on, go up. Of the house. Not in the forest.
Okay, well. 1.
No, it's 0, 1. And plus, you gotta push the. It's like either gotta push a little button. I think. Yeah.
0, 1.
Let me turn the light on. Let's get some perky on.
9.
But there been like
3.
Oh, don't touch those mice. Those are deer mice. So we have to go and get gloves.
I bet those were deer mice.
Don't touch anything.
Why?
Because we need to go get gloves.
I just want to see what happens.
Okay, fine.
I better be careful. I better be careful.
You can't even do anything.
Ah, dang it.
That's what happened. Nothing. Need your flashlight. So you gotta go get it from the shed. And while we're out there, I believe we have to look around the house, not in the forest. No, go back.
There's the stuff. It would be right there then.
Maybe. There's supposed to be gloves in here. Yeah, look in here. Where are gloves? But it said gloves and gas mask. We have the gas mask. Maybe we get the gloves somewhere else. No. Oh, in the sink. Sorry about that. A bit of misinformation was all. There it is. Whoopsie daisy. Whoopsie daisy. I'm crazy. Whoopsie daisy.
Journal. William Akers, 1992.
Speakeasy.
Today Mickey went to prison, but when they were walking him to the paddy wagon, he told me to take care of his dogs And when the time came to do their tombstones, like he told me, then he whispered to me to look under the Victoria in the speakeasy at the Moon Lake.
Victoria.
He said I'd find a map to the gold he stole 2 years ago. Then he shoved him into the wagon. They shoved him in the wagon, and that was that. Poor Mickey. How's a guy who never spent one night in jail supposed to spend 8 years in prison? He'll never make it. I think he wants me to have the gold because deep down he knows he's never coming home. Anyway, I looked under the Victoria and found the map. Problem is, there's nothing on it except a bunch of lines and the words, "The dogs will lead the way." There's no X marking the spot or directions or nothing. But I need money bad. My wife and baby haven't had anything decent to eat in months, so I'm gonna pack them up and move to Moon Lake permanently so I can spend all my time looking for the gold. Mickey never told me outright that he was the guy who pulled off the hole-in-the-floor gold heist. He always said the less I knew, the healthier I'd stay, but according to the papers, a bunch of gold was stolen off a moving train right under the noses of a dozen Pinkertons. Mickey must have greased somebody's palm real good and got him to cut a hole in the floor of the boxcar.
The boxer. Who cut a hole in my floor?
The gold was gonna be shipped in. After the gold was labeled, one of the boys crawled under the train and pulled himself into the boxcar. Then, when the train was moving, he dropped the gold down the hole onto the tracks. Mickey's boys picked it up and got away clean. Nobody ever suspected Mickey was behind it. I almost said suspected.
Mickey.
So what I'm looking for is 20 gold bars. The paper said altogether they weighed about 600 pounds. The question is, did Mickey hide them in one place or did he spread them around? He must have buried them, but where? I just thought of something. Maybe Mickey trained his dogs to go to the gold if he said the right word. I'm going to try saying gold to them tomorrow and see what happens. I've said every word I can think of to the dogs.
To all of the dogs.
But they haven't led me anywhere except around in circles. I've spent the last month following them around. First, Xander, then Vitus, then Lucy. I don't have to follow Iggy because all he does is sleep on the porch. So it looks like I'm going to have to start digging. I'll dig under the porch first, seeing as that's where Iggy always is. A month ago, I started working as a handyman over in Lewistown to make ends meet. So even though I stop by Mickey's every day to feed the dogs, I can only look for the gold at night. I dug all under the porch but didn't find nothing. I marked the porch on the map.
Joe
with a big
Akers?
I
Emily
for
said
Iggy.
Jeff Akers' father was named
That's the
Joe.
place he always
Maybe
is.
Jeff is related to William Akers after all.
I was so busy digging last Tuesday night that I almost wasn't there when my son was born. We're calling him Joe. His big sister's real happy. She says baby Joe is just like the dolly she's always wanted, but we could never afford to get her. Truth is, we can't really afford Joe neither. I keep writing to Mickey asking him to please tell me straight out where the gold is, but he never writes back. I'll just have to keep digging. Wait, what's this? That's left-right. You know, I spend all my free time digging in the woods. I dig around everything that could be a landmark. Logs, rocks, tree stumps, but I find nothing. Plus, I keep getting lost. The paths look so much alike, especially at night, that I spend most of my time trying to figure out where I am. So last Sunday, I memorized the way to the cemetery. Okay, well, that's a no. Even though Mickey never allowed the dogs in the speakeasy or the tunnels, I've been looking there for the gold because I looked everywhere else I can think of, and I got nowhere. Last week, I found out that Mickey changed the passcode to the spig spots in the speakeasy.
The spig spots?
The spigots.
Spig spots.
This got my hopes up.
Spig spots.
Because wait, I figured it. Why would Mickey change the code without telling me unless he was hiding something? But when I finally figured out the new code, I didn't find nothing in the tunnel that opened up that wasn't there before. Why Mickey spent all that money on pictures of those dogs of his, I'll never understand. I give up. Mickey's dead, and so are all his dogs. I'll never find the gold. I've got a good job offer over in Harrisburg, and I'm gonna take it. Little Joe and Sarah deserve a better life than they've gotten so far, and it's high time Callie got a nice house and husband who doesn't spend all his time chasing after something he can't find. But I'm leaving this journal here because who knows, maybe someday I'll suddenly remember something. Mickey said, and it'll finally hit me where he hid the gold. Maybe I'll come back here and find it after all. But in the meantime, I've got my family. They're what's important. They're treasure.
Aw.
The dogs will lead the way. I wonder what that means.
You'll find out, Nancy. You'll find out.
Now we have to flip all the way back to the exit. Because that's how you close the books. One page at a time. You can't just close the whole damn thing. Squeak, squeak. Look by the porch. Look.
Those look too rotten.
What, Nancy? What are you thinking?
For barbecue.
Barbecue wood. I guarantee you barbecue wood is
Well, who said it would taste good? It'll just solve the problems. That's how the red tail hawk will come, and then finally
Who'll be like, oh, is that barbecue wood? My favorite.
And I'll get his picture and give it to Crazy Guy. And then all will be well. All will be well with you.
Those look too rotten.
Maybe it has to be like in the morning. We try going to the night in the day. Or just go
Day and night.
Or since we
Gonna
figure
sing
out.
that song every time I see day and night.
Well, of course, if you're singing the song, you can sing the song. You're not very bright. You.
I am right.
Hello?
Bess, it's Nancy.
I know that. What's going on?
I could sure use a nice big hint right about now.
According to that journal, William Akers had a son named Joe. And Emily said Jeff's father, who used to be a sheriff, was also named Joe. Coincidence? I think not. Ranger Akers just got a little less cute and a little more suspicious. I agree.
Anything about cute?
But maybe I should go over there and hear his side of the story, Nan.
Hey, newsflash.
Oh.
I think I know why somebody wants to scare Sally off her property, and it has nothing to do with birds, parks, or artifacts.
So what does it have to do with?
Gold, as in 600 pounds of gold bullion.
That's a good motive. Come on, Nancy, tell us everything. Gold is one of my favorite subjects.
Well, I found William Akers' journal.
Journal. Yeah, right. Go on.
In the journal, I found a map with the inscription, "The dogs will lead the way."
You found a treasure map? My gosh, Nancy. Secret passageways, buried treasure? You're like a magnet for that
I didn't
stuff.
wanna have
The
this
dogs will lead the way to
conversation.
what?
Malone apparently masterminded a huge gold heist and buried the loot at Moon Lake in a secret location. According to the journal, Malone left Akers the map and said it would show him where the gold was, but all it has on it is that inscription and some landmarks.
What kind of landmarks?
The house, the shoreline, some rocks in the lake, the pump, the cemetery, and it's crisscrossed with lines like a grid.
A grid? Sounds like precise locations are involved.
Bye, you guys.
Don't be a stranger. Take care.
I'm still gonna go ahead and sleep through to the next day, so that way maybe he'll finally be done with checking our water.
Good news. I have information on your mystery woman.
Thank you so much. Is she still alive?
Her name these days is Vivian Whitmore. She lives in Las Vegas, and her number is 702-555-9137.
Sorry to bother you again, but did those results from the water test come in yet?
There's something here for you from the State Department of Health.
Yes.
High levels
It's
of
an
arsenic.
arsenic.
Oh my gosh, not only is the water bad, but it seems like the well may have been contaminated deliberately.
I wouldn't go jumping to conclusions without proof, Ms. Drew. I'm sure there's a far less melodramatic explanation.
What do you know about a man named Joe Akers?
Why do you ask?
I recently found out that William Akers had a son.
All right. William Akers was my grandfather.
Why didn't you tell me that before?
It's not exactly something I'm proud of. My father spent his whole life trying to make people forget what my grandfather was, and trying to make sure people who didn't know what he was never found out. I've been doing the same thing.
Did William Akers ever say anything about the cemetery behind Malone's house?
I'm afraid you're going to have to excuse me, Miss Drew. In case you've forgotten, I'm a very busy man.
Again, what
I
do you
apologize
do?
for my previous behavior.
I do step away for a
As a
second.
park ranger, I strive to keep my
step away
personal
for
feelings
1
in check
second
at all
and talk,
times,
you know,
and
I apologize for
that time I failed.
Well, that didn't take
It's
me
my
very
duty
long,
as a
but-
public servant to try to make it up to you. What would you like to know?
What can you tell me about the gold that Malone supposedly buried on his property?
As far as I know, it doesn't exist. It's just one of those rumors people want to believe, so they do.
Thanks for all your help.
That's why I'm here. Hello there.
Did your grandfather ever find any gold on Malone's property?
If he did, he never spent it. He wasn't poor when he died, but he certainly wasn't rich.
Thanks for all your help.
That's why I'm here.
Hello, doggy. Dogs are great. Animals are great.
I guess we gotta call Sally and let her know she can't drink her water.
Yeah. Hey, but did I tell you that the water is poison?
With arsenic?
Yeah. Okay, I already have it down for you. It's finally keeping track of the numbers, unlike in the last game. Banana phone.
Hello?
Hey, Sally, it's Nancy.
Nancy, hi. How's it going?
I'm afraid I have some bad news. I had your well water tested, and according to the health department, it contains a very high level of arsenic.
Arsenic? Somebody poisoned my well?
Yes.
The health department can't say for sure yet, but if that is the case, do you have any idea who would do a thing like that?
No. And it doesn't matter. I love that house, and I am going to live in it. If that well's bad, I'll just dig another one. At least I will when I know for sure why bad things keep happening there.
It's because
You
you're
are going to
cursed.
figure that out, right, Nancy?
You bet I am.
I knew I could count on you.
Were you ever told that Mickey Malone supposedly buried a small fortune in gold bullion somewhere on your property and that it has yet to be found?
Is this a joke?
Malone supposedly stole a bunch of gold bars off a train and buried them at Moon Lake. You never heard about that?
No. Could it be true?
It could be, yes. But even if it is a rumor, it seems kind of odd that no one around here ever mentioned it to you.
How did you hear about it?
I found the journal of a man named William Akers in a safe in your cellar. He was one of Malone's closest associates.
You know, all the
Ever
good
hear of
stuff
him?
that you need to do.
Never.
In the paperwork that you had to wade through when you bought this property, do you recall ever coming across the name Vivian Whitmore?
No, I sure don't. Who's she?
She's my
I'm
best
still
friend.
kind of trying to figure that out.
Her name wasn't anywhere on the deed. I know that.
Talk to you later.
Thanks again, Nancy.
Well, I guess we'll call Vivian in the next episode because talking to her is probably going to take an hour like it does with almost everyone else. So, we'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching this episode of Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye!